This is the Beyond the Box dumbbell workout. Before we get into the workout, check out our Instagram post for the warm-up. I want to make sure you're getting ready for the workout by increasing your heart rate, increasing your body temperature, and you're starting to sweat a little bit before you get into it. For today's workout, we're going to start with dumbbell back squats in our strength portion. Now, the dumbbell back squat, traditionally we've been doing these as a front rack hold. The back rack hold is just going to be moving the dumbbells from a position in front of the body to bring the elbows up a little bit higher, and you're holding dumbbells behind on the back of your shoulders behind your head, making it a back rack position as opposed to the dumbbells being in front of the head or in front of the shoulders in a front rack position. So, picking the dumbbells up, just clean them from the floor or stand up and pull them to your shoulders. This is the front rack position. If I lift my elbows and I get the dumbbells a little bit more behind me, this would be a back rack position. Now, with the back rack position, I can actually hinge forward a little bit as I go down, as opposed to if I'm in the front rack, if I hinge forward, all that weight's just going to be in front of me, making it a little bit harder, and I probably will end up dropping it. So just get that weight a little bit more biased onto the back of the shoulders. The one end of the dumbbells pointing straight up, the other end of the dumbbells pointing down towards the floor behind you, and go into your 5 reps here. Maybe add a little bit of tempo, go down slow, and then come up with control. So down slow, controlled, a little bit of a pause on the bottom, and then stand up quickly, driving out of the bottom, getting explosive force. As much as your elbows and your body can tolerate, we're going to build to a heavy 5 reps. Now, even with a lightweight, I'm using 25 pounds here. That started to put a little bit of extra pressure on my elbows. So ease into it. Don't go heavy right away. Be pretty smart and methodical in how we approach this strength portion. So 5 sets of 5 reps. Maybe add a little bit of tempo in there if you can't add a whole lot of weight, or if adding a whole lot of weight bothers your elbows, just work on position and time under tension. Following the strength portion, moving into the Metcon, we have a 16-minute EMOM every minute on the minute. We have 4 movements, each done in their own minute, and you're going to do 4 rounds of, we're going to go through each one 4 times in that 16-minute period. In minute 1, we are going to be doing more of the double dumbbell back squats. The RX weight for this workout, 50 pounds for the men, 35 pounds for the ladies. Hopefully this is something that we built past in the strength portion. If you didn't get quite that heavy in the strength portion, maybe because there's a lot more reps in there, instead of just the 5, there's 15. You pick the weight that you got as heavy up to, that you could tolerate 5 reps of, and you can do 5, take a little bit of break, 5, take a little bit of break, take 5. Just as long as you have at least 15 seconds to transition to the next minute. In minute 2, you're going to do 45 seconds of sit-ups. So as many sit-ups as you can get in 45 seconds. After round 1, you're going to have a really good idea of how many sit-ups you can do in that time frame. So in 45 seconds, you're only able to get, say, 30 sit-ups. Then 30 sit-ups should be your target goal, your target every minute afterwards. Going into minute 3, we have 20 no push-up burpees. So that's just going down, doing a push-up to doing a burpee to a push-up position, not going any lower than that, and then we're coming up out of that. This is also called an athletic burpee, would be another name for that. And then in minute 4, 45 seconds of a hollow hold. So let's take a look at our movement. So going back to the double dumbbell back squats, dumbbells to the shoulders, and then dumbbells from in front of the shoulders to just behind you a little bit, putting the weight behind us. I might even flare my elbows out a little bit just to get the weight a little bit back behind me. So in this minute, go through your 15 back squats. Want that weight to be fairly distributed over our center of gravity. Once you're done that minute and you go into the second minute, 45 seconds of sit-ups. With the sit-ups, make sure that you press the low back into the floor. As I press my low back in the floor, brings my head and shoulders up off the ground. And from here, I can throw my hands, reach forward, touch my toes, touch my ankles. Just lean as far forward as you can and aim for your ankles or your toes. Notice that pressing of a low back into the floor is what's going to help start getting me into my sit-up. If you need a little bit more help, you can get a cushion or a dab mat, put that under your back. It's going to help you engage your deep abdominal muscles a little bit better. Or we can kind of kip this movement by going from a bridge, and then we go down, having that elevated, and then bringing the hips down and pressing on the back and forth. Going to give us a little bit more oomph, a little bit more power as we go for that sit-up. So if you need a little bit more support, we can do that. Maybe even find that you can go do a little bit more, go a little bit faster, and we'll just accumulate more reps. Therefore, accumulate a little bit more work during that time if you add the glute bridge drive into it, or the kipping motion, if you might want to call it. Going into minute number 3, we have 20 no push-up burpees. So from a standing position, I'm just going to go down to a push-up position. I'm staying flexed in my low back, so I'm pressing my low back up into the ceiling in the same manner that it would for the sit-ups. From here, feet forward, and then a little hop to full extension, full standing up. Make sure you're not still hunched over like this, full extended. Notice that nice and solid in my hips. I'm nice and braced even from here, maintaining this brace position here, as opposed to folding in the bottom and extending the low back. So stay nice and tight. As opposed, this would be a bad rep. Notice how I drop my hips. Keep the hips high. Stay nice and tight through the midline, through your belly. For those no push-up burpees. Don't bend the arms. Then in minute number 4, you're going to finish with 45 seconds hollow hold. So press your low back in the floor, feet up in the air, shoulders off the ground, hands overhead, and then if you can, fully extend into your elbows. We're going to hold this position for 45 seconds. Now, a little bit of a connection here for you. For the no push-up burpee, it really is the same position. So if I'm over here a little bit more, if I'm in my hollow hold, and then I maintain this, get into my elbows, get up into my hands. So this same position that I'm holding in the bottom of the no push-up burpee is really the same position I'm going to hold on my back while I'm doing the hollow hold. Position doesn't really change. What changes is the direction I'm facing. So stay nice and tight through the midline there. So remember, it's a 60-minute EMOM, 4 movements. You're going to go through each movement 4 times. Remember, 1 minute for each movement. Some have reps, some have a time-dependent variable. Make sure the ones that have a time-dependent variable, you're just trying to hold for that amount of seconds, or try and get as many sit-ups as you can in that 45 seconds. Get after it and have fun.